Ho, ho, ho. And welcome back to the Cheltenham Exchange. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, lads. Full crew.
Merry Christmas, AJ.
How are we all doing?
Merry Christmas, lads.
Good time, mate. What was that, Ian?
I said, have you got a full sack?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Here we go.
Here we go. Ian's had a Baileys.
Family bananas, yeah?
Oh, the beer.
Yeah, so everyone doing all right, boys? Good to see
All
you.
good? All refreshed?
Feels like ages. I feel a bit rusty, but never mind. It's that time of year. Doesn't matter. Some great racing coming up. Some exciting festive racing for us to get tucked into tonight. Before we start, were we going to announce our competition winner, Ian?
Yeah, it's you put me on the spot now, AJ. It was announced on
Ian Shiplin.
That's it.
Chippers.
So he won the hacked up package. He's been told. So just wait for him to choose his gifts and his the colours he wants. But yeah, well done, Ian. You're the competition winner for Christmas.
Well done, Chippers.
Good
And
Chippers.
thank you to Lloyd at Hacked Up Racing Gifts for the bundle.
Keep
Very
them
much
coming, Lloyd.
appreciated. And thanks to everyone who took part. Keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes peeled for more. The old boss man's on the prowl.
Yeah.
So, tonight we're going to have a look at some of the cracking racing coming up over the next week or so, over the festive period. Obviously, as we go sort of Boxing Day onwards, we haven't got any decks in yet, so it's all a bit up in the air, isn't it? But the boys have done some studying and are going to give us their thoughts on what they think might be worth keeping an eye out for while you're all getting pissed in front of the telly. So, are we all ready to jump straight into the action? Matty's looking nice and festive and he's drinking. It's a good sign. So, we will jump straight into action on Saturday, this coming Saturday. And the first race we're going to have a look at is the Long Walk Hurdle, which I think is at 2:25 on Saturday. Quite a decent field, I would have said. Champ in here. I was getting excited about old Champ. Told my dad, when he won that RSA, I told my dad that'll win a Gold Cup. That just about sums up my racing knowledge, to be fair. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Champ running. Alex, come on, you can kick us off here. Long Walk Hurdle, mate.
Well, I've moaned about these sort of 3-mile hurdles for a long time. That I've not been particularly keen on the fields and bored of seeing the same sort of 10, 11, 12-year-old runners again and again. And there's some new blood in there. And what I'm really happy to get stuck into is Crambo, trained by Fergal O'Brien. He was given an absolute stinker of a ride last time by Conor Brace, and I see now Jonathan Burke's on board. Stepping up, obviously, into a Grade 1 race. He has been previously running in handicaps. But, I mean, in my opinion, he'd have won that handicap last time off 1-4-2. I think he's more than good enough to be taking his chance at this level. And, as I said, I'll be getting stuck in. I think best price at the moment, 7-2, which I think is very fair. And, I think he'll beat a lot of these older horses. It's time for some new blood.
Love it, Alex. Crambo's a horse you've been following for a good while, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Followed him from his bumpers. I've backed him every time he's run. Done pretty well. He's won more races than he's lost, and he's had some wins at some nice odds. So, playing with the bookmakers' money at this point.
Lovely. So, nice start to the show there. Crambo to step up and into Grade 1 company successfully for Alex.
Crambo to win at Crimbo.
Sorry, mate.
I said Crambo to win at Crimbo.
Crambo. Love it. Great theme. Okay. Johnny, you were on Dash or Drasher the other week. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, similar lines, to be honest, though, Jay. I mean, a lot of my old favourites running in this one as usual. I'll probably more than likely play Dashel Drasher and Botox Has both as win bets. Probably side with a Drasher more than Botox in this because I'm not so sure Botox has acts on this course, to be honest. He's had a couple of runs here and he's been way down the field, but it's definitely Dashel Drasher's type of course where he can just get out there and just bound along and get a few of them off the bridle. So I think him for the main win bet in this race. I think the main danger is Champ, to be honest with you. He does go well fresh and he also likes the track. So I think he's one to keep an eye on as well. But yeah, I'm going to stick with the old favourite. To me, it's Dashel Drasher as a win bet.
Love it. Thank you very much. Matty, I think you got one here.
Yeah, I mean, there's one veteran that John forgot to say, and he's going to win it. And I disagree, OJ, with the message that you sent at 2:30 this morning, saying Champ's going to win the long walk hurdle. I've looked long and hard at this race this afternoon, and like I said, I've come down on one of the other veterans. He still clearly showed he had enthusiasm the last day. He's won 3 out of the last 4 run-ins of this race. His only defeat at the course was in 2021 when losing to Champ. He was entitled to have needed that reappearance run when only going down ahead to Dashel Drasher, who had already run previously this season. And at 6-1, I think he's a great bet for me in this lineup, and that's Paisley Park.
Win and retire?
Won't win.
Maybe.
Who Matty or Paisley Park?
He stormed that finish just behind Dashel Drasher, didn't he, at Newbury? So
yeah, he'll be
Love it.
fit this time round as well.
Lovely, love it. Right, go on, Ian. What are you thinking?
I'm going for one of Johnny's favourites. I'm going to take a chance on Botox Has. I was just to touch on what Johnny said. I saw Botox Has won last time out at Wetherby in the Bet365 hurdle. I think he beat Dashel Drasher and Risk that day. I think Dashel Drasher was about 6 lengths behind. And that day, Botox had 11.6. I think Dashel Drasher won off 11.2. I know Botox has just got up to 1.52. And I think even off level weights, I think Dashel Drasher's still got a few lengths to find if you look at it that way. West Balboa, I can't see how she's the favourite, to be honest. It must be just down to the allowance. As you said about Champ, always goes well fresh. I think the last few seasons he's won his first race. He could be a threat. And I agree with what Alex was saying about Crambo. He was the eye catcher in that Betfair stay as Haydock even. He's definitely he will be the eye catcher. But yeah, I'm going to go with Botox Has for the win.
Botox Has, so we've got split decisions around here. When you say Champ goes fresh in his first race of the season, it's normally his only race of the season.
Well, he won his last year, didn't he? First time out.
He did.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Well, yeah. Split decision to start with. Ian's on Botox Has. Johnny's sticking with the Drasher. Matty's on Paisley Park. And Alex keeping faith with Crambo. Stepping up. Going to take his first grade 1.
Crambo at Crimbo.
And Crambo at Crimbo. Oh, yeah, we've got to stick with that. Crambo at Crimbo.
Ian, did you just say Champ won this last year for this time out?
I thought he did. Am I wrong?
He hasn't won the last winning of this. Paisley Park won this. Champ won it in 2021.
Oh, beg your pardon. Couple of years out.
There we go.
Matty is fuming.
Yeah.
Knowledge is the bomb. Well, just remember what I said at 2:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Thanks
for that message, OJ.
Trying to fix a washing machine. Didn't go well, boys. Didn't go well. Okay. So sticking with we're staying at Ascot Saturday, are we?
Yep.
And next race. And it's the Betfair Exchange Trophy. 3:35. Ooh. Lucia's in here, Ian.
This is like a Henderson nightmare for me, this race.
Go on, then.
I was having nightmares. Having nightmares. Obviously, because you got Iberico Lord and you got Imposed Trois, you got Lucia, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know where to start. So The Greatwood normally has, as in previous years, has had horses that have come out and have franked the form, a lot of it in recent years. So you saw Gino and Go Dante have franked the form for Iberico Lord, but at a lower class. I think Iberico Lord was carrying 11.6 that day, and I was trying to pick the bones between the two, between Iberico Lord and Impost Trois. I think Iberico Lord is carrying 11.6, rating 134. And Impost Trois is carrying 11.3 and is at 131. So there's literally nothing in it. So the one I'm going to come down on, because he pressed me more, I'm going to go with Impost Trois due to his win at Cheltenham in November. Jockey booking could be telling. I know Nico's going to be on Iberico Lord and John Joe's going to be on Impost Trois. But yeah, I was more impressed with Impost Trois, so I'll go with him. But yeah, it was a nightmare, OJ.
Nightmare. It's a Hendo horse for Ian.
He's got about $1 million in it, so I think.
Got very excited at Cheltenham, didn't you, when someone approached you and said that?
A young
Speaking
tall
of
lad.
which, Matty, Impost Trois, he was there on your docket that day, wasn't he?
Yeah, I really fancied Impost Trois at Cheltenham, obviously, as you all know, and he obliged by winning quite comfortably in the end. This is, to me, it looks a very, very competitive race. Nico's opted to ride Iberico Lord, John Joe Jr. on Impost Trois. He's gone at £10 from that run from 121 to 131. However, I think he's a really progressive horse, and I do think there's a lot more to come. I'm hoping they go a really good gallop and can bring his stamina into play, because he has won over 2 mile 5 as well. His jumping the last day was excellent. I rewatched the race earlier and he travels exceptionally well throughout his races. 6-1, 11-2 in places. He's going to be the bet for me in this. Mullins' horse is only a matter of time. He ran out, didn't he, the last day versus Iberico Lord when he seems to be well supported in the market. So it'll be interesting to see which way that goes again for him. But no, Impost Trois, I think he's an improving horse. I think he's got a lot more to give. I think he'll go close in this, hopefully. And I'm hoping Favois will drop a few more pounds ready for another tilt at the county.
Oh, bonus chucked in there. Love it. Go on, Johnny, what are you thinking, mate? Not Teddy Blue, okay.
No, not Teddy for this race, I don't think, but I do like Teddy Blue. Yeah, I struggle a little bit between the top two, trying to work it out. You know, they both look very, very evenly matched. Although obviously Iberico Lord won a class 1, sorry. Impost Trois was a class 3, if I'm correct there. So yeah. If I was gonna choose, I'd probably go for Iberico Lord. But the Mullins one is very interesting, but I think he's run out the last twice, hasn't he now? So you can't really trust him, can you? You know, he could do it another time. So yeah. I mean, if money comes for that one, you've got to obviously watch that one, haven't you, with him sending it over and with Danny on as well. You know, it's another decent booking. But I'm actually going to go for Ian's old favourite, Lucia. But on the proviso that the ground is like not really soft. If it's sort of good to soft, then I think she'll be a lot better on that. I think when it goes a touch softer, she seems to struggle, doesn't she, to pick up. She travels really well, but it's just picking up on soft ground. So I think I'll probably play Lucia on the day, providing the ground isn't horrible. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Lucia on this occasion.
I thought she travelled nicely in that Greatwood, to be honest, for the most of the way around.
And she has won a class 1 as well as a novice. So you know she has got form in the book at this level. So she's just a bit ground dependent. That's all.
Thank you, Johnny. And Alex, what are you thinking here, mate?
I'm with Johnny. I'm on Lucia as well.
Yes.
Nice double figure price. Can't turn that down. She was beaten 7.
10s, isn't she?
Sorry?
She's about 10-1 at the moment or something.
10 or 11, yeah, sort of that sort of price at the moment. She was only beaten 7 lengths by Iberico Lord in the Greatwood. I think it could actually work out to be a really good Greatwood. I think there's going to be quite a few winners in behind. And yeah, beaten 7 lengths, and there's an £8 swing in the weights. And I think going back to a flatter course, I think will probably suit her better. I mean, looking at how, I mean, she ran at Newbury, didn't she, last year, and she put up a massive performance. So I think that was, well, to me, that was the best run she's put out there. So yeah, I'll take a chance at a double figure price that she can run well again. And I mean, I can't see her at the first three, so I think it's an each way bet to nothing, really.
I really like that. I've got
another one that might be worth keeping an eye on is Alto Belly. You've got to go back to, obviously, if you go back to the bumper win, he beat Ginny's Destiny by 5.5 lengths, and Ginny's Destiny's gone to, was a 135 over hurdles, now is 146 over fences. So that could be one to keep on side.
Bonus there from Matty. Ginny's Destiny. Did Ginny's Destiny win last week, or am I thinking of it totally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have if the Scouting horse hadn't fluffed the last.
Yeah, that was quite a
Jump in's the name of the game. So
I must say I'm very glad to hear you two with Lucia, because I was looking at the market earlier on. I thought 10-1, you got to stick with her. Got to. And I was
50p now, right?
Yeah, the 50p's, Christmas 50p's. Checking the kids' Christmas cards for them, Ian.
Ian's fuming we've gone with Lucia now, and he hasn't.
When she robs, so
do the Hendo 1, 2, 3. There you go, done.
It'll be kicking the dog later when you in.
Oh, well.
Doesn't need to. He's on Ante-Post, he's all right.
Fighting talk. The fighting talk started, so there we go. Well, we had a split decision in the first, and it's 50-50 in the Betfair Exchange Trophy, with Ian and Matty on Imposed Twat, and Johnny and Alex both going with Lucia. Love that, boys. Thank you very much. So, moving on, obviously, then it's festivities time. Everybody have a great Christmas. Get your Baileys down you, and move on to Boxing Day. And of course, where else can we start but with the King George? There's been so many, I don't know. It's not rumours, isn't the right word, is it? It's umming and ahhing about who's going to turn up, and will Allaho come over? Will Jerry Colomb come over? Ian, have you got any inside info for us?
I believe Allaho is a definite yes, but Jerry,
Allaho?
no.
I think Jerry's a no now. Is it today? I read today that Jerry was going to go to Tremor, as in the old Alboom photo route, and then about an hour later they said definitely going to the Savills. So who knows? We need somebody who knows. Johnny, come on, you can kick us off. King George.
Yeah, well, it looked a pretty good renewal, really, with a few of the Irish coming over. But obviously, that news of Jerry bottling it, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Really, I'd like to have seen him have a go in this one to see how good he is. But obviously, they've gone for another route now. I've backed Hewitt each way already, much to Jamie's disgust. He was 33-1, 3 places a couple of days ago, or it might have been yesterday, actually. But now, obviously, I've got 3 places. Jerry's pulled out. He's now 16-1, so it looks half a decent bet for a place. The others, I'm looking through. Brave Man's Game, I've kind of lost a bit of faith in now after his last couple of performances. He's still jumping well, but he just seems to flattened out a little bit. Doesn't seem to pick up when asked, and just can't sort of trust him. Shishkin, likewise, he wouldn't even go last time. So will he do that again? You just don't know, do you? You don't want to be risking backing him and him not starting. So I'm going to actually go with the easy option, really, for win purposes, and that's Allaho. I think he's the best horse in the race. He's done it at the top level several times. He's the worthy favourite, and now Jerry's gone, which was probably his main contender. I think he looks a really, really good chance in this now. He's about 7-4. That's not a bad price, really, with other ones that you're sort of you're unsure on. So, yeah, Allaho for me in this now. With I've got a bit on the Hewitt each way, like I said.
And are we? Excuse my ignorance here. Are we pretty sure that Allaho's coming across?
99% certain he is.
There you go.
There we go.
If he doesn't, it'll be a shit race.
It'll be a shit King George.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't turn up, you might as well go and make a cup of tea.
Yeah. Okay, moving swiftly along to somebody who will forever be in love with Allaho. Matty.
Yeah, it's not a race I'm going to get bothered getting stuck into. I mean, I really like Braveman's game, but Allaho's, if he comes over, he wins this for me. I mean, he had 561 days off after winning Ryanair when he come back at Cromwell in the, what was it, Cromwell Chase, and he ran to an RPR of 170. Braveman's game, his RPRs have been pretty aggressive since winning this last year. He went off 177, he's on 175, 173, 170, 167. I'd have been keen on him if he hadn't run at Haydock. I think he might have been able to have put it up a little bit more. It's going to be some training performance if we can get him sort of back A1 ready first, because he does seem to look one pace this year. I just think Allaho takes the beating in this. Even if Jerry had come over, it'd still been the same. I don't like him at all. So yeah, I think Allaho just wins. Yeah.
Thank you, Matty. Not a Jerry fan then?
No, not at all. All these ones that say about heartbreak over the RSA last year, I get he wasn't given the best of rides, but the real whack, I think he just idled in front, didn't he, when he got close, and then that was it. But I don't know, I just don't like Jerry. He did well, didn't he, against Envoy Allen when Envoy Allen kept really clear on his comeback run, but I don't know. I just can't have him. He might go close in the Gold Cup because of the extra couple of furlongs, but I think it'll be the same story. He'll be just running on for a place in that at Cheltenham again.
Love it. Thank you, Matty. Alex?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to take a chance on Shishkin. I know he refused last time, but prior to that, he had that win at Aintree, didn't he? He put up a massive performance over 3 miles. He put up an RPR of 175. Prior to that, he obviously ran in the Ryanair at Cheltenham and basically smashed every single fence on the way around. Looked like he wasn't interested at all, and then just finished like an absolute train. So, yeah, I'm going to take a chance that he'll finally get his day over 3 miles again in a proper race. And yeah, I mean, 11-2, I think is a fair price. I've got no interest in Braveman's game at all. Allaho probably is the most likely winner, but I mean, he's won 2 of his 6 races over 3 miles. He's been beaten over 3 miles before by Mellon. So I'm not really sure how I could back Allaho at 3 miles, but I mean, he could bounce and everything. I think it's a very risky bet if you do get stuck in on that. So I'm going to get stuck in on Shishkin. 11-2. I'm quite happy to take a chance at that price.
Lovely. Just hope he runs. Gets going. Ian.
Ian will be on him too.
The old shish. Come on, Ian.
No, Allaho wins. I think Johnny must have read my notes. A lot of what he said I was going to say about the trust in Shishkin. Braveman's game hasn't been himself. I think the real whacker struck into himself last time out at Cheltenham and pulled up, so he's not really had a proper run. Royal Pagaille will probably need the ground to be softer. And I totally agree with regards to Hewitt. What a great booking that is, a Gavin Sheehan on board. I think it was originally going to be Rachel Blackmore, but yeah, Gavin on I think is an excellent booking. So he's definitely one. I agree with Johnny for each way, but yeah, I think Allaho would take the beating. I think he'll win.
Thank you, Ian. Okay, so the boys think Allaho's a good thing. Alex is in the Shishkin camp. Let's just hope for a good race. Let's hope for a good race. So that'll kick off. Well, no, actually, I must apologise because we were going to do the Kauto Star, which I think is actually earlier on in the day, isn't it? On Boxing Day.
Yeah, it's at 1:20.
Made a bit of a Horlicks. Okay, so we'll rewind a little bit to the 1:20 race on Boxing Day. Kauto Star, Novices Chase, and Matty, I don't know whether you've got anything in here, but you haven't kicked us off on any race yet, so you lumped with this one, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to be signing one of my chasers to follow for the season. That's Giovinco. He's available around 3-1. I think you've got Ile Francais. Is that how you pronounce it? I have no idea. Classical Dream and Grange Rest all made all on their latest start. So the tactics deployed, if they all turn up, will be interesting, as it could affect the outcome with maybe taking each other on and ruining each other's chances. I think the pace of the race will suit Giovinco. He's a very strong traveller. His jumping is an asset. He ran very well the last day against Stay Away Faye, where perhaps he should have kicked home a bit earlier instead of getting stuck in that battle with him after the last. I think they found out more about Gio that day, even though he lost. He kept on in there and he stuck on. He didn't really lose any ground. Apart from, was it two lengths he lost, was it? He didn't really lose anything on the running. He sort of kept with him. He's 3-1, so I'm backing him here. I think he wins this.
Travelled lovely in that race against Stay Away Faye.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people said they could like to see him drop back in trip. I don't think they need to do that with him. I think he'll be all right at 3 miles. I think the main aim is March with him. I think this is all just a learning curve towards that. But I'm expecting him to run well here. Yeah, I think he'll win.
Thank you, Matty. Alex, were you impressed with Giovinco?
Yeah, he was very good. The only concern for me for Giovinco is it'll be his 4th run in like 60-something days. So that would be a concern for me. To be honest, I can't believe I'm putting this one up either. But I'm going to have a go on Classical Dream. I'll keep it simple. I mean, he was the best of these over hurdles. I know he beat absolute trees last time in his first start over fences, but the way he jumped was really impressive to me. And I think a course like Kempton is very much up his street. I think he could go really well. And I mean, he's 4th favourite at the moment. So what's not to like, really?
Jumped beautifully on Chase debut. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it was against a load of trees, but I'm happy to go in on it. I mean, if he jumped really badly in one, then we wouldn't be putting him up. But yeah, his jumping did really impress me.
Thank you, Alex. Johnny, what are you thinking, mate?
Yeah, I mean, if they all turn up, this is a really, really interesting race going forward, because a lot of these do seem evenly matched again. It'll probably be a no-play race for me because there's sort of 3 I'm interested in for March already. LA Francais is one. I suspect he'll need quite soft ground with him being French-bred, and I think his last win was on heavy at Orte. Hermes Allen, I was impressed with him first time out, and I'm not sure he got the credit he deserved for his win. So I'm very interested in him as well. And also Grange West going forward as well. Not sure whether he's sort of more of a Turner's horse or a Brown's at the moment, but this will probably tell us a lot if he turns up. So yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on all the sort of top 5 in the market really, but those 3 in particular. So yeah, I just want to see a good race and most of them turn up for it.
Cheers, Johnny. And Ian, what are you thinking, mate?
I'm thinking the same as Matty. I like the look of Giovinco. I think he was very unlucky at Sandown. I know Stay Away Faye stayed on well, but I think he got you could say some excuses. I don't think he liked the ground as much. He definitely got hampered, I think, 2 or 3 out by the loose horse. And I think just with it all in the favour over Stay Away Faye, who obviously is now the favourite for the Brown Advisory. Some of these others you mentioned about the LA Francais, he's yet to run over 3 mile. Hermes Allen has technically over 3 mile, but that was just in the old P2P. Be interested to see how he goes. I'm not sure if any of the Irish horses will go. It'd be interesting to see at the 3 of them if they go. It could be like a small field in the end with just 6, but I will go with Giovinco.
Giovinco for Ian and Matty. Surprised Matty didn't mention that loose horse, hampering Giovinco.
It hampered Stay Away Faye as well, mate. So I'm not going to turn around and say in the end. I know I was fuming on the day, but when I watched it back, he hampered both horses. I was more probably disappointed that he didn't try and kick on with him earlier and try and get ahead of Stay Away Faye, and then it would have been interesting. I wouldn't be too concerned what Alex said about the runs in quick succession. I mean, he ran 3 hurdle runs last year when he won 11th of March, 26th of March, 26th of April. I know chasing's a bit different, but he unseated in his first race, didn't he? Was it 2 out? when he seated in the first chase. The Aintree, how many fences were doled off in that as well? So the only real race he's had properly over all the fences was against Stay Away Faye. I don't know whether both Classical Dream and Grange Clare West will come over, but you'd imagine Willie will send one over for obviously travel with Allaho. I agree with John. Hermes Allen did impress me on his chase debut, but I have him more of a middle distance horse than a 3 miler, especially with him having Stay Away Faye as well. But yeah, it's just going to be a cracking race if they all turn out, like John said.
Yeah, let's hope so. Could be a good race for the rest of the season. Good race to follow for the rest of the season.
Probably end up a 4-runner now, won't it?
Good. Let's hope for a good race then. So Matty and Ian, sticking with Giovinco, obviously. Giovinco.
I just fucking realised me and Ian are agreeing on quite a couple of horses here tonight, aren't we?
Yeah. At least you agree on horses, because you don't agree on anything else, you two.
No, prick.
Oh. Where's your Christmas spirit?
One of Matty's horses to follow, Giovinco, from back in September. So, got to be sticking there. Classical Dream for Alex, and a bit more of a watching brief for Johnny, who's
sit down and enjoy your turkey butties.
Sit down and enjoy it. Okay, I will apologise. I've gone very professional since my my brief interlude where I've not been on, and I've got myself a microphone. So if there was any feedback, I did spend about 6 minutes fighting with a bottle of red wine there to open the cork, which nearly turned disastrous. So yeah, any background noise, boss man, cut it out for us, will you?
I'm on it.
Thank you very much. Right, I don't think we were particularly focusing on any of the races on Boxing Day. Is that anybody else got anything on Boxing Day? I did notice Top Veal Ben could be going in a veterans chase at Aintree, Johnny.
Again, yeah. I think they're just trying to win one of these before they retire him, to be honest. So we'll keep plugging away at him.
Keep an eye on him. Anybody else got anything?
I'd be interested in the Land Rover Novice Hurdle at Limerick if Croke Park goes over 2 miles 7. Obviously, I put him up for the Bartlett on the last Ante-Post show. He's 6-1 at the moment on odds checker. However, he's probably 6-1 because the decks aren't out. They went this way with Fury Road. They won this race, then they went to the Nathaniel Lacey and then onto the Bartlett. So I'm really hoping they tend to do this with Croke Park, but he is entered in the Lawlers of Nace as well in January. But I'd love him to come this way and then onto the Bartlett in March. He's just not quick enough for a Ballymore for me. So 3 miles, and he's going to be some chaser next year when they go chasing with him as well, isn't he?
Lovely, Matty. Love that. Alex, Ian, anything you've spotted whilst browsing the cards?
The Christmas hurdle looks a cracker. Terrible race. Terrible.
Not going to slate Scotty's rhubarb, are you? Whatever he's called.
Christ almighty. What a
Rubo.
Rubo. Scotty will be fuming that you're slating him, Ian.
Oh. But no, I'm the OJ.
Ian's not happy.
Obviously, you've got Fat Vega in the Racing Post Novices Chase, which will be interesting to watch. But he's like 4-9 on Bet365, so yeah, be interesting.
And again, until the decks come out for that, Johnny, it's not worth. Yeah, really.
They're all a bit like that, aren't they?
I've got one that I'm keeping an eye on, OJ, but it's entered in 7 races between the 26th and the 28th, so I don't really want to confidently put it up for a race. So I'm watching.
What if it's on that, Alex?
Dr. Elvis. Dr. Elvis is called. He ran 3rd in a maiden hurdle at Punchestown at the end of November. And it just one more, it's a bit of an eye catcher for me. So I'm keeping an eye on it. Went straight in my tracker.
There we go. There's one for the viewers.
Races between 2 and 2.5 miles. So I've got no idea when he's going to run.
One for the viewers. Keep an eye out. Right, okay. So Boxing Day hangovers have cleared, and we're on to Wednesday's racing, the 27th. Cracking racing at Leopardstown. And we're going to have a look at the future champions novice hurdle, I believe.
Correct.
Which is at 145.
Yeah.
Did I say Leopardstown? I didn't say Fairyhouse,
Yeah.
did I?
I think you said Leopardstown. I'm not sure.
You did say Leopardstown, OJ.
Did I? Phew.
Is it nothing?
Wells.
Tourless.
Yeah, I learned my lesson on that. I'm not allowed to say Furls anymore. It's Furless, innit? I got fucking slated for that, didn't I?
Okay, so future champions, novice hurdle. Matty, I know we've just had Giovinco, but another of your horses to follow here, down memory lane. What have you heard anything about down memory lane lately?
No, only what Gordon said in his interview a while back, wasn't it? He said that they weren't going to be overly hard on him, I think, this year. He entered here, and he's also entered at the Lawlers of Nace on the 7th of January. Well, Nace, not Nace, whatever. Which I'll probably get slagged for fucking saying that as well wrong. I'd prefer to see him in the Lawlers because the main bets I've got him for in March are the Ballymore, even though he is covered any race too. However, I think he's going to be an absolute superstar, and I think he wins whatever he wants. If he was to turn up here, then I would look at the win here on the Supreme Market to bolster my position on him. I was also impressed with Daddy Longlegs last time out. I think he looked very, very good as well, and he'd be in the thinking if down memory lane didn't run. And the only other thing is King of Kingsfield further down. He looks like a handicap job for March, with potentially the County Hurdle or Martin Pipe in mind. But if down memory lane runs, I'll be backing him and he wins. I think he's class, or he's going to be class.
There we go, lovely.
Has anyone else heard anything on down memory lane now?
No, I haven't, mate. No.
I'm just looking there. There's a horse you mentioned, Smooth Tom, in here.
Juvenile, isn't he, Matty?
The Boodles.
No, not anymore.
King of Kingsfield, John. I'm sure King of Kingsfield last year was
One of Johnny's horses, wasn't he?
One of your horses last year.
Yeah.
You giving up on him?
I agree with Matty about it could be a handicap plot somewhere down the line. He keeps finishing second, doesn't he? So his mark isn't going to go up much. So yeah, I think he'll come into play, early next year at some point. But yeah, this race, I mean, at the moment, it's like a Mullins versus Elliott fest, isn't it? They've got about 12 horses entered in it between them. So to me, it looks like the money's come for down memory lane. So it looks like this is where he's going to be going. He's shortened dramatically over the last sort of 24 hours or so. I think he's about 6-4 now. So I would just, if you're having a bet at this point, you'd have to say him, wouldn't you? That's where the money's come in. It's not gone on Firefox or any of the other Elliott runners. Obviously, Daddy Longlegs will be a main threat to him. But yeah, I'll go with down memory lane, the same as Matty.
Lovely. And another mention for Daddy Longlegs. A lot of hype on Twitter for Daddy Longlegs the other week. Speaking of that, come on, Daddy, come on here. What are you thinking here? Come on.
This time I'm going different from Matty, so I'm going to go with Firefox, and purely down to some of the form he's had in previous runs. So he's won all three of his bumpers this year in 2023. Beat the well-fancied Elatique, if I say you pronounce it, in April, who's supposed to be well-fancied for the Bartlett, I believe. And his last run, his maiden hurdle at Fairyhouse, beat another well-fancied horse for the Ballymore, which is Ballyburn. I was quite impressed that day. But some of the lads were saying it's hard to tell. There's so many horses that are in that, whether they come in or come out. But if he runs, I'll be going with Firefox.
Firefox for Ian. Go on then, Alex. Are you going to tip the scales either way here?
No, I'm not. I'm going for something different. He's double figure price. He's 14-1. He's already won a Grade 1. I'm gonna side with Farron Glory. Not entirely sure if he's definitely going to run because he won the Royal Bond, didn't he, earlier earlier in the month. He's got a line of form that sort of links in with Daddy Longlegs. They both beat a horse called Irish Panther. Daddy Longlegs beat him by 14 lengths off level weights. Farron Glory beat him by 9, but he was giving £8 away that day. So, I mean, the difference of the price is, I mean, I'm happy to sort of side with Farron Glory at 14s and hope that he comes in each way. I think it's not a bad bet considering he's won a Grade 1 before. The price of 14s probably makes you think he probably isn't going to run in the race, but yeah, I'll just see what happens on the day.
It's the sort of price that brings joy to my heart, Alex. I love it when you pick these out for us.
Will you be going on with your 50p's though, Jay?
I'll tell you that we need some more of them Christmas cards coming through with coins taped to them. Love it. Okay, so we're thinking down memory lane could run here, and could be a good watch.
I'd rather he didn't, but
Another good watch. Yeah, Matty wants him going over further. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Right, should we stick at Leopardstown and do the Paddy Power Chase, or should we go and do the Welsh National? We'll stick in Leopardstown.
Okay.
3 o'clock. Paddy Power Chase. Alex, we'll come back to you here.
Right. So I'm going to side with, he's pretty close to top of the market, Desert Moor House. He's already won a very good race this year. He beat Salvador Ziggy in the Kerry National. Salvador Ziggy, I still think he's going to win the National Hunt Chase. He was giving away a lot of weight that day. The horse in third that day as well, Foxy Jacks, has then gone on since and won the cross country at Cheltenham back in November. So I think it's obviously a bit of a frank on the form. Ian put it up on the channel as well. What price did you get it in, Foxy Jacks?
Yeah, I can't remember. It was double figure price, but
Not a nice price.
put it up at 11s, then he put it up on Twitter on at 22s on the day.
Yeah, he's only up £10 for that win. I think that's he's well entitled to have improved more than that. So I'll stick with Desert Moor House. I think he's still very unexposed.
Thank you, Al. Loving that. Go on then, Ian. Foxy Jacks could run in here again.
Alex has said exactly everything I was about to say about Desert Moor House. He's my pick. Mentioned Salvador and Ziggy. Mentioned Foxy Jacks. Gone up £10. We don't need to say too much. He said it all for me. So yeah, Desert Moor House as well for me.
I've never seen Ian so angry. He's fuming over everything. He
literally said it word for word. I wrote down word for word.
Coming out of his ears.
I'll be getting grief later. Why didn't you come to me first? Okay. We don't know what's ready, do we? Johnny, come on. I know you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't have 10 hours spare today to go through a 40-odd run handicap. So, yeah, it's and then they might not run after all that. So, I mean, there's some of the old heads in there, isn't there, favourites? So I'll have a look on the day. Just throw a couple of names out. Hollow Games is in there. He looks on a decent-ish mark to me. He's won at the course before. So I might have a go on him. He's 16-1 at the moment. Joyo Machan's in there. There's loads of the old favourites, isn't there? On the ropes, where's he been? You know,
Fred,
on the ropes hasn't
Johnny.
been out. Sorry?
You love Fred, Wild Run Fred.
Yeah. Is he in there? Yeah, he's there as well. That on the ropes is in there. He's not been out for 699 days, which is a bit of a mad one as well. So I liked him when he first started, but then he sort of just seemed to fall into a heap a little bit and then not being seen. So yeah, I'll have a look on the day, OJ. So not worth picking one really.
Oh, Chemical Energy's in there.
He's there as well.
Chemical Energy in the National Hunt.
Am I right? There's some
good ones in there.
I know one person who's going to be bouncing with enthusiasm about this. It's Matty Luke. Ho, ho, ho.
I'll wait till declarations come out, mate. I haven't got a fucking clue at the moment.
No bet.
Well, there'll probably be a bet in the race, but I'll wait till declarations. I mean, what we pick something else, out now. It's probably not going to be that much different in price on the day. So I'll just wait till the decks come out and then I'll have a play. Then I'm not spending my time going through all this. I'm probably a horse not to run. So
no, time is very valuable. Don't waste it. I'll be nice to you then, Matty, because I know he's going to be making a statement within the next 20 seconds as we move on to the Welsh National. He's a very proud Welshman. Matthew Luke, you've got the winner for us here, haven't you?
He hasn't.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, I told you a lot about him after his second last time out, which was his prep run for this race when he comes second behind his stablemate. I got him at 25-1. Then Super Survivor. Just see now he's as low as 4-1 now after Monbeg Genius being ruled out today. I wasn't expecting him to be that short when I mentioned him to you lot, in all honesty, but it is what it is. He's my selection, and hopefully he gets his head in front when it matters. He jumps well, he travels well. This has been his target, and I think he's going to take the beating here.
Super Survivor for Matty, who
I think he's carrying, what is he carrying, 10 stone 5, is he? Carrying a nice little weight as well.
10-5, yeah. 10-5 indeed. No, to be fair to Matt, he's been banging that drum for a good while. So, yeah, we're all behind you, Matty. We'll move on to our second proud Welshman, Johnny, for the Welsh National. What are you thinking, mate?
Yeah, I mean, to start with, I've got a good financial interest in Nassalam after I backed him at 50s to win this before his last win, and he was very impressive last time. Everything seemed to slot into place, didn't it? He jumped well. He absolutely demolished that field. Whether this is his type of race with a hustle and bustle, I'm not so sure, but at least I've got him covered at a massive price. I think he's about 8-1 now. But the lads were there last month when we saw the Fergal team there, and they were really, really keen on Autonomous Cloud. So for this video, I'll put him up. I mean, they seem really fond of him. They said he's on a good weight, and I think he's due to go up 4 pounds, is he, after this race? Good jockey on board. So, yeah, I think he'll have a good chance in this race, to be honest with you.
That I vaguely recollect that it was Dr. Simon had a little word.
That's it, yeah.
He's been smashed in the market. Even today, he's gone down. I think he's 11-2 with Bet365.
Because Monbeg's come out though, that's why they shortened up again at the front, Johnny.
Yeah. I suppose that's probably a bit.
Because he was 12-1 before they pulled him out.
Crikey.
I've got 25p each way at 25-1, Ian.
Ooh.
Yep.
Love it.
Nassalam's win. I'm sure Nassalam's win the other week was at Chepstow, was it, Johnny? Or am I totally wrong?
Yeah, it was. I think.
I'm pretty sure he had a course run recently.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex.
I'm gonna copy and paste what Johnny said. Autonomous Cloud as well. He's another one of those horses that it's a McNeil horse that's no longer ridden by a certain Mr. Heskin. So possibly falls in that camp of £10 well handicapped. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that. The only time he'd be fuming is if Fergal decided to put Daryl Jacob on top and Alex would be
fuming. Well, that's never going to happen now. So we're safe. We're safe in that way.
Okay, Rayman's looking at me in disgust here. He's like, behave yourself. Behave yourself.
Mm.
Come on.
I'm with Johnny and Alex. I like Autonomous Cloud as well. I was trying to do my maths for the previous race in regards to the weights, what they're carrying now. I think as the lad said, Autonomous Cloud is carrying 10.9. I think he's gone up £4 from 130 to 134. Autonomous Cloud beat a few releases in a handicap chase at Utoxeter in March. And I think that, for what I could work out that day, Autonomous was carrying 11.2. It was rated a 125. Super Survivor was third, carrying 11.9 and has dropped a couple of pounds since then. And I think Autonomous Cloud won by about 17 lengths. So excuse my maths, and you can put it in the comments if I'm totally wrong. I think that Super Survivor still needs to find around 6 lengths on Autonomous Cloud. So he'd be my selection. I will give a shout out to an old boy at Sandown. He won for me, and it's Truckers Lodge, fourth in this race last year. I think it's about 48 now, this horse, but it's such a good old horse. Freddie Kingle will take £5 off again. I think it's so fourth this season. A great each way shout. But yeah, so it'll be Autonomous Cloud for the win. Keep an eye on Truckers Lodge for the each way.
Truckers Lodge running off exactly the same mark as last year.
Yeah.
And I did notice Freddie Gingel's on again.
Yeah.
And the race this year is run in memory of Kim Gingell. Just for interest.
Soft ground as well. Could be perfect conditions, OJ.
Yeah. Nice little each way bonus there from Ian. Okay, so three of the boys on Autonomous Cloud, and Matty, to be fair, has been saying Super Survivor for quite some time now. So thank you, chaps. So that's done on the 27th, I think. So I think, unless nobody's got anything else on that day that they wanted to highlight, have they? Now, or wherever.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Dino Blue in the 110 in the Grade 1. I think she's waited to beat most of them, really, apart from probably Gentleman to Me. Is that Alex's old favourite? Gentleman to Me.
I like Gentleman's Game.
That's it, Gentleman's Game. I think he's the obvious danger, but he might need the run. So I think Dino Blue's had the run already and been quite impressive, I think. So getting weight in that race, I think she's got a good chance.
Dino Blue. There's a little bonus from Johnny. Anybody else? Anything else on the Wednesday, I think it is, isn't it?
Not from betting purposes, but I'm looking forward to seeing Bird at Road again if he wins. If he runs.
If he runs, he wins.
Yeah, it's not a betting race. He's 2-5, but if he runs, I'm really looking forward to seeing him again.
And I'll be happy to see Dr. Elvis if he runs that day as well.
Or the,
was that, OJ?
Or the day after or the day before.
Sorry,
Burdett Road. Keen for Cheltenham for the festival?
Yeah, very keen.
That's what we need.
There is a Hendo one, OJ.
Wouldn't be.
You can tell.
God, I wouldn't be getting really stuck in at like 6-1 that he is now. But obviously, me and Alex got on him, I think, at a bit bigger prices before he ran at Cheltenham last time out. But no, I think he has a good chance in March.
Love that. Thank you. Ian's just had a little something come through in his earpiece from Nicky. And he's going to provide us a little nugget here, I think.
A little talking horse, is he? And we were just talking about the Triumph Hurdle. Sir Gino is due to run in the 120 at Kempton on the Wednesday in the juvenile hurdle. Probably go off a stupid price just due to what's been said in the media. But he could be one to keep an eye on in the Donnelly colours.
Lovely. Thank you, chaps. Right, okay. Thursday's racing, and I think we were going to go. Yeah, we were going to go to Leopardstown. The Jack the Bromhead Christmas Hurdle. Ooh.
Before you go start, I've not got anything in this race, so I'm just going to go and get a beer.
That's fine, mate. You've had plenty of exposure tonight. Make sure you say, yeah. He's taken that microphone off.
Jesus.
Has he?
He could have muted before he went, couldn't he?
He doesn't know what it is.
He hasn't, has he? He's going to go for a piss. I guarantee you he's gone for a piss.
I've muted him.
We're going to have some interference. No, unmute him, Ian.
No, don't do
it. Jesus Christ.
Right. Yeah. Jack the Bromhead Christmas Hurdle. Monkfish in here. Ooh. Who haven't we? Ian, come on. We haven't come to you to begin with for a while.
I think it's going to be a bit of an obvious one, OJ, but I think he's just the ideal trip for this Rob Core horse. I'm going to go with Irish Point. I've lost all my notes now, but it's so hard to look at some of these. Asterion Falange and Ballyadam. I think it'll be a home by the lead. A lot of these need 3 mile. I know it's 2-7. They probably need a little bit further. Santa here, 12-1 could be a nice little each way. But yeah, if he runs, I'll go with Irish Point.
It's nice to see him.
It's very short and sweet.
No. I like that because I did like Irish Point for the Stayers hurdle early on in the season. So yeah, I'll be interested to watch. Johnny.
Yeah, I agree with Ian. I mean, if he wants to win the Stayers hurdle, March needs to be winning this, doesn't he? Really, to be honest, if he can't win this, then I wouldn't want anywhere near him for that race. So yeah, he looks the obvious selection. I would like to see Monkfish run a good race. I mean, when he came back after that long layoff, I thought he ran a cracker first race, and then they ran him dead soon after, and I think he bounced a little bit. So now he's been freshened up again. I mean, he could go well in this, so he might be the biggest threat to me. But I think Irish Point will probably just have too much for him. But I'd love to see Monkfish win.
Yeah, no, that would be nice. Love that horse.
You do.
Okay, Alex.
On the basis that I pretty much dislike every other horse in this race, I'm going to side with Monkfish. He's won the Bartlett over 3 miles, so yeah, I've priced a 9-2. I think you can get at the moment somewhere around there. I think that's very fair. If he's anywhere near back to his best, he should hammer these. So, like Johnny said, I liked his first run back, and then I mean they ran him 17 days later. Yeah. So I mean, it's to be expected, really. And yeah, I think they'll have probably blown the cobwebs out, and they're coming here to win something.
It's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? After having so long off and issues left, right, and centre to come out quick like that.
Just very risky, you think. If he's had injury issues, why would you run him so quickly? It just didn't make any sense. And I mean, he was crap, wasn't he? But yeah, I think that's to be expected.
Yeah, I was hoping he was going to be a superstar. Maybe he still can be. Speaking of superstars, Matty Luke's back, and we didn't have to listen to him having a piss. And Ian, you better take
the headphones out.
We could still hear you.
We could still hear you.
It's all right. I only went to get a beer. Have you finished talking about that? Right.
No. Well, no, we're just waiting for you to interject and give us any thoughts you may have.
No, my only thing on that day is the 14 Novice Chase. Obviously, a lot is going to depend on where Gaelic Warrior goes. If Gaelic Warrior goes here, then you'd imagine you've got Classical Dream that maybe go over to Kempton, Grange Clare West as well. Then I'd say Tom's. But I think then if he goes here, that affects where American Mike and Corbett's Cross might go. Then they could both go to the Neville's Hotel Novices Chase. But if Gaelic Warrior goes to the Racing Post race with Facile Vega and all that in, because they have said he could drop down to 2 mile, maybe as a tryout, then you can maybe see Ante Thompson, American Mike running here like initially thought, where that's where Mike was meant to be going to anyway.
Okay. Appreciate that. I didn't want to be rude and cut across you, but yeah, just we were kind of just on the Jack de Bromhead Christmas hurdle race.
Yeah, you said if I got anything to say, and I said no.
Oh, right, sorry. Okay.
Matty fuming.
Matty's always got something to say.
Well, what we'll do, we'll edit that bit out and we'll add that on at the end of the other bit. Ian, job for you.
Yeah.
What did you say on your jumper anyway? Is it over yet?
Yeah, with the Grinch.
I think Matty should have that on.
No.
Matty's in good spirits tonight. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, we've done that race. And we're going to go to the Savills Chase, which I think is the next race after that one, isn't it? I think.
The 225. Yeah.
225. Yeah. So the race after Savills Chase. Oh, yeah. Johnny's not going to be impressed with me coming here first, is he? But go on, Johnny. You got any thought? A lot of old favourites again, and you don't know whether they're going to run. But yeah, anything.
Yeah. And also, you picked me, and this is a race that I didn't even know we were looking at. So, but yeah, I mean, just looking through now, I mean, I just want to see Galloping back to his best, to be honest with you, in this. I'm not interested in any of the others. Obviously, if Jerry Colomb goes here now, he's still got like, what, £11 to find with him. So, you know, maybe he'll run him close, but hopefully Galloping, he's had that blowout now and he returns to his best. So, yeah, it'd be just a feet up and watch race again, I think. But hopefully he can win.
You sticking with Galloping for Gold Cup?
Yes.
Good man. Good man. And you were proved right with Alboom Photo a few years ago when you were like that. Solid. Stick with him.
Stick with him.
Alex, Savills Chase.
Yeah, it's got to be Galloping. At the beginning of the season, I didn't think I'd ever be able to back him this year at 7-4, 2-1. So, yeah, I'm going to get stuck in. I think he'll be back to his best. I think he'll beat these. And I think this will be the start of the Gold Cup procession when he wins it in March.
Nice and confident. Nice and confident like that. Matty?
Yeah, I think if he runs, he wins. He'll be back up to his 3-mile trip, won't he? You know, with you saying earlier on about Jerry Colomb maybe going the Tremor route, do you think they've rerouted him now to the Savills because that might what they're doing with Galloping, get him to Tremor instead? Or has that not even been mentioned?
I've not heard that, Matty, but it could be a...
Because OJ said earlier that there was talk of Jerry going Tremor, wasn't there?
Briefly.
I think he'd avoid that if Galloping was going. I'm not just putting ideas out there, that's all. Could be a cracking race if they all rock up, but it won't be a betting race for me. I'll just sit back and watch with views to towards the Gold Cup in March.
I mean, the only reason I mentioned that Tremor business, to be honest with you, is that it always stuck in my mind because Alboom, like Johnny, it was a horse that I was very keen on and followed in both those Gold Cups. And bizarrely enough, Tremor's the only Irish racecourse I've been to, and it's a hell of a quirky track. It is a really strange track. It's tight and it's got this incredibly steep downhill bit, and it always stuck in my mind because I thought it wouldn't seem like a traditional kind of warm up for kind of a Cheltenham festival horse. But then I don't know. So I always wondered whether it was something that was particularly personal to Alboom Photo. No idea. So as soon as I saw that today, I thought it was just interesting. But then within a couple of hours, they were saying that Jerry was going to Savills. So yeah, don't know. It was a bit of an odd one. Ian, help me out. I'm waffling.
I keep looking at Jerry Colomb, but I was just looking at some of his wins, and majority. I know he's won at Aintree left-handed, and I think there's one of the Irish ones. I think it's Nice. I think he's won over left-handed, but a majority of them seem to be right-handed. I don't know if that'll be or not coming in this race and maybe into the festival as well. I don't know. It could be a cracking race potentially with the top three in the Gold Cup with Fast or Slow, which is Galloping and Jerry. I was trying to see if there's anything from left field that maybe could pip them. You got Inflated, maybe not. Cool Beach, 6-1.
Cool Beach.
Chepstow Warriors is 150 to 1. That could be a one for your 50p's, OJ. But I don't know. It's hard. I think Galloping could win this race, but I just wonder if Jerry could have the beating of him in the Gold Cup. I'm just not sure. But yeah, I'll go with Galloping if he runs.
Lovely. Well, I think we're all going to be keeping a close eye on Galloping de Champs.
Definitely.
Lovely. Right. I think the last specified race that we were going to look at was the following day. So that takes us on to next Friday, a week tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Friday the 29th.
Friday the 29th, and we were going to look at the Neville Hotel's Novice Chase at 1:45. Is that right?
Yep.
3 miles. Oh yeah. Right. Who Alex, Johnny, Ian. It's back round to you, mate.
Okay.
Kick us off.
I'm going to go from left field. I'm hoping he's going to run here. I'm going to go for Grange Clare West to have to beat in some of these. Corbett's Cross. I don't know if he. I know he ran out last time at Cheltenham over 3 miles. I know it's. I'm just not sure. Again, with Classical Dream, I'm not too sure. He's another bit of a nut case. Florian Porter just seems to win his races at Cheltenham. It doesn't seem to do anything anywhere else. And Favre de Champdou, I made some notes here. I think he could be potentially one that people are looking at for the National Hunt Chase. But a lot of his wins and runs, he's performed better and have all seemed to become right-handed again. So he would be potentially one I'm not too sure about. But and that's how I come down at Grange Clare West. I think he's crying out for a 3 mile trip, and I think if he wins this, he could be a big danger in the brown pants over 3 miles. So I would go with Grange Clare West.
Grange Clare West. For Ian, Alex.
I'm going with the Porter. I thought he actually ran pretty well last time when he jumped very poorly because he always jumps out to his left, doesn't he? He was going right-handed. I thought he actually ran pretty well. He obviously won at Cheltenham, didn't he? Beating Broadway Boy, who's massively threatened that form since, with two very good wins at Cheltenham as well. I think going back left-handed, I think it obviously suits him much better. I don't really like Corbett's Cross. And I think Classical Dream will end up going over to Kempton on Boxing Day. So price at 7-2 on a horse that I think is probably the most likely winner. I think it's a very fair price now. I'm happy to have a go on him.
Good old Florian Porter. I mean, it didn't jump terrible, did it? Jumps left, but he ran around all over the fucking place, didn't he? Especially after the lap.
I think it tended to be the fences that were on the bends, wasn't it? Where he tended to jump even further out to his left and just cost him so much distance. And he was then running and going past horses. And then as soon as you then jump, he then comes back again, and it just costs you, doesn't it? So
exact over near the rail, and
yeah,
he's a nutcase, isn't he?
He is a proper nutcase, but I don't mind a nutcase.
Yeah, love it. Love a good character. Johnny loves Florian Porter, don't you, Johnny?
Well, yeah, I'm going to stick with my Ante-Post book, aren't I? So I've got to stick with the Porter as well. I think going back left-handed, like Alex says, is the key to him. He's much more comfortable going left-handed than right. I mean, last time he just hung like a gate, didn't he? It was ridiculous. So I just think he should beat these, hopefully, and crack on towards March. So, yeah, the Porter for me.
Love that. You still confident for March, Johnny?
Yeah, still. I think that race is going to be very open this year. I mean, there's a lot there who have all run quite well so far, and there's no sort of standout one, I don't think, at the moment. So, if they all turn up there, we could have a cracking race come March.
Yeah. Love it. Thank you, Johnny. Matty.
Yeah. A lot's going to depend on what happens where they go, because we've got Corbett's Cross and American Mike. They both ended up in the 14 Novices Chase. If Gaelic Warrior runs there, will they revert to here? If Gaelic Warrior reverts to the Racing Post Novice Chase against Facile Vega, well, then they drop down. I think Mike is meant to be going towards the 14 Novices Chase. That's what Gordon Elliott said originally. That was going to be his next target. Corbett's Cross is one of my other chases to follow. Probably going to be swaying towards this one for him, aren't they? I think. And if he turns up here, I'll have a bet on Corbett's Cross on the day. I agree with Johnny and Alex though regarding Florian Porter. If Gaelic Warrior does revert to the Racing Post Arg, which he probably won't, and Mike and Corbett's Cross drop down, then Florian Porter would be the play. But no, I'm going to take Corbett's Cross to win this, and maybe America might each way at 12s. But I think if he gets declared, I'll have a bet. If he doesn't, I'll just leave him.
Lovely. Some heart from that revival win from American Mike.
He looks a lot better over fences, doesn't he? He's always made to be a chaser. I want him to go up to 3 miles, but whether they do that now or whether they wait till later in the season, that's a different. That's a decision that we don't make, isn't it? That's the trainers and the owners. And that's what they pay the money for. So they get to run their horse over the trip they want to.
Love it. Thank you very much, gents. So they were the horses. They were the races we picked out over the festive period. There's an absolute plethora. It's like that word, Ian? Plethora?
Plethora, very nice.
Absolute plethora of good racing. Obviously, once again, at this stage, as on Thursday, the 21st of December, it could be that half of these don't run in the races that we've talked about. But yeah, some from my perspective, boys, some cracking analysis. Really enjoyed listening to you as always. And yeah, let's hope some of you people out there find it useful and it helps you over the festive period. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Oh no! Before I put you on the spot, has anybody else got anything else? We've kind of touched on it a couple of days. Anybody else picked out anything that they has particularly caught their eye that could run any time over Christmas, over the break? Matty, I'm thinking you might have something, maybe. No.
No, I've already mentioned Croke Park. I've already mentioned Croke Park, mate. So.
Yeah. Anybody got anything else they want to chuck in before we round up?
I've got 2, OJ, if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Al, we love that.
One got an absolute, I think a pretty poor ride last time when I think we all thought he was going to win. Master Chewy. He's got 2 entries on the 27th. He was too far behind and just one of those things. And then the other one is a horse called No Flies on Him that should be running on Boxing Day. He's been in my tracker. So has form in front of Willie the Builder, who I think performed pretty well at Cheltenham before. So yeah, keep an eye on him as well.
Love that. Love bonus selections from Alex. Ian, anything extra to chuck in? Hendo been whispering in your ear while we've been recording?
No, just a juvenile one, Sir Gino, that we mentioned before. I've just seen, funny enough, that Redemption Day, the horse has been out for a while. I think he has an entry in the Bamper on the 29th. 325 at Leopardstown, so it could be interesting to see what they do with him, whether they just have a bumper run and then go over hurdles or chasing, what they're going to do for the rest of the season. But I think he was due to run in the week and didn't and come out. But other than that, no, AJ, I haven't. No other interests.
No worries. And Johnny, anything else?
No, I'm pretty good with what I've given so far, OJ. So yeah, all good.
Top man. Thank you. Right. Okay. So before we wrap it all up, then I'm going to put you on the spot, boys. I know again, there might be some of these if they run, but yeah, best bet over the festive period. Johnny, what do you reckon?
I'll go for a little double. Allaho to win the King George with Florian Porter to win that race on the 29th.
Love that. Thank you, sir. Matty?
Paisley Park wins the long walk hurdle.
Breaking my heart. It'd be a nice story, but I told you at 2:30 this morning that Champ wins that race.
You did.
Which just adds so much more to your argument. The fact that
You were probably 4 or 5 bottles of wine deep by then, OJ, as well.
Fixed the washing machine.
I can tell you that. Okay, Paisley Park for Mr. Gemmell. Lovely. Alex.
Did you say you want a double from us?
Anything? No. Your best bet of the festive period, however you want to put it across. You can double if you want, but yeah.
I'll do a double as well, and I'll put no flies on in that I mentioned just a minute ago, and I'll double it up with Flooring Porter.
Oh, nice one. Same as Johnny. Love that. Make sure you get that no flies on us, was it?
No flies on him.
No flies on him. Make sure you get that on in your notebooks, people. And the Rain Man.
So my nap is Firefox is going to win the Paddy Power Future Champion on the 27th, and then on the 23rd in the Betfair Exchange Trophy, you need to do the Hendo Tricast. You need to do the Berico Lord. You need to do Ante-Post Trois, and you need to do Lucia. They'll be the 3. Hendo Tricast.
In that order?
No.
Ante-Post Trois first.
Okay.
Basically, Ian can't work out which Hendo horse he loves the most. We thought we'd combine them into one bet.
Just do them all.
And Alex,
I'll throw one in for the double as well, then, OJ, for me. I'll back them. I've already backed them singles, so I'll do the double. Super Survivor for the Welsh National, Paisley Park for the long walk.
Ooh, love it. Right, I think that just about. I don't know how long we've been recording.
Ages.
Well,
Hour and 20 nearly.
Hopefully, people don't get bored. There's a lot of racing over Christmas. So, yeah, I don't think we
and we haven't even touched on half of it, have we? To be fair,
no. But no, that was good fun, chaps. Great to catch up with you all. I've missed a few of these lately, so it's nice to get back. Apologies for any rustiness. Hope the old microphone didn't cause too much hassle with the bottle of red wine. And apart from that, everybody out there, have a brilliant Christmas. Have a cracking New Year. And remember to like and subscribe, and especially anything you like over the festive period, racing-wise, in the comments, get a bit of chat going. We do keep an eye on it, and we will always aim to respond. But for that, it's Merry Christmas from me to all of you chaps and to everybody out there. Anything else from anybody else that I may...
Nadolig Llawen.
Quite right, Matty. Nadolig Llawen.
Nadolig Llawen.
To all our Welsh followers.
Quite right. And we'll see you all soon. Nostar.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.